Greetings, everyone. I'm going to start out just talking about myself. Women and ladies, if you're looking closely, my hairline here is damaged. When I was a young girl, I wore my hair in braids a lot. And also, I used to pull my hair back in a bun. My favorite way. I never really liked my hair down in my face. So I always pull it back in a bun. And my hairdresser used to always say, don't do that because you'll damage your hairline. And I sure did. Now, when I was young, also, or younger, I had one gray hair at the front. And I think I told you about that before. And anyone who came near that gray hair, would get a tongue wagging because I loved my gray. I was looking forward to the gray hairs. And then when they finally started coming in, I didn't like them anymore. So I covered them, you know? So when you see a 50-year-old woman with her head full with black hair, well, maybe she has great DNA or something, but, mine start growing in. And I don't like them so much. And I have to start questioning myself, where did that come from? When I was a very young girl and I had these couple strands of gray hair, I celebrated them. So why would I not want these gray hairs now? Because somehow I internalize the thought that gray hair means you're getting old. And I guess nobody wants to get old, so I cover it. I like my hair crazy. But when my new growth start coming, then I start saying, okay, I have to tighten it, even though my hair have gotten a lot thinner and I don't like that. But somehow I tighten my locks for it to look neat. Why am I doing that? To make my hair look neat. Rasta women back in the day had locks. They were so thick, and ill-formed. They didn't have these, strands that are loose. Why am I tightening my hair? Because somehow I've internalized that they look neater. And how? How am I even concerned about other people and the way they see me? Because we fail to understand that we are that lotus blossom, every one of us in our own unique way. We allow people around us to tell us what we should look like, what we should feel like, what we should experience. We allow other persons to identify who we are. And I have decided to stop doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. So if I feel like coloring my hair, I'm just doing it because I am just tired of this color. Right now, I'm thinking of getting red. I don't know where that's coming from. I want to put my hair in red. It's just something that I'm going through, maybe something spiritual. And if I feel like not tightening my hair and making my hair look crazy, then I'm going to do that because I am not living my life for other persons. Many people think that they know how your life should be. I can't tell you the amount of times that people have said straight to my face, you have experienced some things, you have this amount of education, this is where you should be. And though I know individuals say these things and they mean absolutely no harm, it is very offensive when they don't understand who I am and where I place things and people in terms of value these days. What is important to you is not to me, and what is of value to you is not of value to me. And so even though I tried not to allow these remarks to affect me, at some point they did. They used to affect me when persons say, well, you should be here now. You should be here now. in your life because of all these steps that you've taken. You should be doing this. You should be living here. You should be achieving this. People will come to you and tell you how you should be, how you should think, how you should behave, how you should dress. People tend to think that they know what is better for you than you. And you can't be upset with those individuals because oftentimes they're projecting their own insecurities on you. So you have to make sure that you're not allowing them to do that. So when I start to see myself as that lotus blossom, understanding that that beautiful flower emerges from that muddy pond, the blossom taking 3 days to come to surface, to meet the light. And when you look at the lotus flower, every part of it, from the leaf to the stem to the pods to the seeds, all serve such special function, has great benefits, health, aesthetics, etc. When I see myself as that lotus blossom and understand that the conditions in my life and the experiences I've had are like the mud, but out of this mud, I emerge beautiful, useful, beneficial, maybe not to the ones who think that I ought to be here, but in their mind, I'm here. Your perception of me is not important to me. Your ideas of who you think I should be absolutely means nothing to me. If anything, it limits you. Because what you fail to see is who I am. That I am a light to someone. And the purpose that I serve in other person's life, you don't see because they're invisible. So if I have helped somebody with a meal for the day because they go hungry, you don't know that. Therefore, you can't value that. If I'm able to provide housing or shelter for somebody, which I've done that for many years as a young girl, I had these older people, women much older than me, asking me for shelter, asking me for advice, even as a little girl, about relationship advice when I didn't even know anything about my own anatomy. They were asking me to help them solve their marital issues or their relationship problems. How do you measure that? So what I'm saying to you is that your success or your greatest attainment in life cannot be measured by just what is visual. It's not how high you climb, but it's the depths from which you came. And so while you're measuring my success based on these material things that you don't see, you don't understand how wealthy I am spiritually, how wealthy I am when I survey my life this far and see the contributions I have made in other person's life. Much to my sadness, sometimes individuals who sometimes prove to be ungrateful, like wickedly ungrateful. But the reason why they are ungrateful is because the spirit that dwell in and around us, is fed different ways. Some of us feed it with light, some of it feed it with darkness. And so sometimes when you're helping somebody and you're thinking, they're going to be grateful and they'll say thank you, they won't be, because the truth of the matter is while you're helping them, they're hating you anyway. So it usually manifests itself in what appears to be, ingratitude. Don't let other persons measure your success for you, because if you feel like a failure because someone tells you that you're a failure, it's because you already told yourself that. So many times, persons would ask me questions and tell me, you should be doing this, or how you're not doing that, or it's offensive. But it doesn't bother me as much as it used to, because I feel like I have a secret that they don't know. And when I'm by myself and the engagements I have, when I am spending time inwards, and the knowledge that I have cannot be measured with money or material things. The knowledge that I continue to gain, the way I'm being led by the Spirit, whichever definition of spirit you want to talk about or understand, the way I'm led to avenues of truth, it cannot be measured. I feel blessed, eternally blessed, and very hopeful to know that what is most important is that when I pass on to the other realm, I would have lived a great, productive life. I would have influenced some people. I would have learned lessons from people and taught some people lessons as well. So, what I'm trying to say to you today is that you must not listen to the voice of other people telling you how you should be, who you should be. You have to define that for yourself. And that your success must not be measured by other person's standards, but the ones that you set for yourself. And when you understand that true wealth is wisdom, true wealth is knowledge, true wealth is having the ability to step aside from whatever situation that you're in and still find a way to learn from those experiences. The emerald tablets, do your own research. I'm going to read something from it. And it says, "List ye, O man, to he who comes to you, but weigh in the balance if his words be of light. For many, these are who walk in dark brightness, and yet are not the children of light. Easy it is to follow their pathways, easy to follow the path that they lead. But ye, O man, heed ye my warning. Light comes only to him who strives. Hard is a pathway that leads to the wisdom. Hard is a pathway that leads to the light. Many shall he find, the stones in your pathway. Many the mountains to climb towards the light. Yet know he, O man, to him that overcometh, free will he be of the pathway of light. For he know, O man, in the end, light must conquer, and darkness and night be banished from light." So when someone tries to make you think or feel that, you're not successful, or your life is not worthy, or, you're not important, it's important for you to remember these words, that one person's perception of you must not qualify for what you think about yourself. And that greatness is not measured on material possessions, but greatness is that light that shines from you. How influential are you? There are some people who are very wealthy and they are the worst to be around. There are individuals who consider themselves to be very successful, but the true things in life that make us a success is absent from them. And so while individuals might not mean any harm in telling you who you are or who you should be, understand that sometimes they themselves are victim of living in a place, living in that darkness, that dark brightness, really. No one can tell you who you should be. No one can measure your success. Only you know within yourself what is your accomplishment. And if you feel that there's more you should be doing with your life, then seek for an opportunity to fulfill your purpose. So instead of trying to impress people, and sometimes I try to impress you because I put on my makeup. It is not because I'm trying to impress you. It's because I think, okay, I'm going to talk to my people today and I value you. So, I get dressed up for the camera. It's like entering in the presence of people that you value or doing. I think this is very important. So when I get dressed up for the occasion, it's because I consider this work that I do as important, not because I want you to think I'm more valuable when I dress up, but I do it because I feel like I'm entering in your presence and I respect you enough to get ready. But there are days when I don't want to do that. There are days when I just feel like just coming to you from my bedroom, just laying on my bed, just being myself, and being transparent about things that people consider to be flaws, or things that we sometimes are ashamed of, simple things. And then you have another woman with a full head of hair, gray hair. She's so proud of it, she couldn't care less. You know, someone doesn't wear makeup, they couldn't care less about how they look, because they're not allowing people or society to measure their worth. We have to stop doing that. You and I, we're all the lotus blossom in whatever circumstance we find ourselves in, or wherever we lay our head, be it in a mansion or in a basement apartment that I live in. It doesn't define me. It's just a part of my circumstance at the moment. And if I live in a mansion, that does not make me successful. If I live my life in not spreading truth, not sharing my knowledge. If I have a PhD and I keep the certificate only to show people how well educated I am and how to brag about my experiences, then it's not worth it. But if I learn or I gain experience or opportunities and I'm able to share that with others, to me, that is success. Walk alone sometimes, you have to. And sometimes when persons come to project their own insecurities on you, or if you attempt to project your own insecurity on others, think about it before you do that. Ask yourself why I'm saying these things to somebody. If you perceive the person's life is not a success and you come to remind them, how beneficial is that to the person? If you think the person is poverty stricken and you're going to tell him, oh my gosh, you're really suffering, well, one day you'll come out, that's not an encouragement. It's like debasing that person to say, oh my gosh, people don't really need your pity. What they need is your encouragement, yes. But if you're going to encourage somebody, then don't start out with pity. And be careful who you pity, because while you're feeling sorry for someone, you don't know what the universe is doing in that person's life. And what you perceive, your own judgment or your own prejudice, what you perceive to be a lack of success, is actually the greatest success in that person's life. Be blessed, everyone.